Welcome back to another Sunken City card review, and we finally got Shaman's Colossal Minion. It's Glug the Gulper, and he's a big old boy. Colossal +3. He's a 7-mana 3/5, a beast, and he reads, after a friendly minion dies, gain its original stats. And he comes with a bunch of 2/2 tails here with his Colossal +3. So just number one, that's a big board dump. Like 4 minions, 3 taunts can be very disruptive to your opponent's game plan, just really interacting well on board if they have to trade minions through it. And all the while, if they can't snipe the Glug the Gulper from behind all the taunts, then he's gaining a ton of stats. So there's 6/6 to gain here off of his natural tails. That makes him a 9/11 threat that might just get increasingly more scary for your opponent. If you have any kind of follow-ups on that, like Wind Furies, maybe some lifesteal somehow, obviously that becomes a really important counter pressure sort of tool. And I think that's pretty crazy. I mean, very often just playing this out is gonna feel good. Even if they do kill the Glug, it's just a lot of bodies. It's kind of got that spreading plague vibe. Naturally, these are only 2 health minions, a little bit more susceptible, but still very just a big impact on board, a dump of stats and stuff. And often cards like that work well. On top of that, of course, if you already had any minions on board when you play your Glug, you could trade those in immediately and then just pump your Glug right off the bat before your opponent even has any time to answer it, because you're still dictating all the trades on board. So there are ways to make this guy even bigger right off the bat, and then your opponent might have a real pickle of a problem to get to the actual Glug itself, and then it just maybe keeps scaling over the course of the game, additional rush minions, so on, and you might even be able to like play your own stuff and then use an AoE to clear your own stuff where the Glug survives, and then he's just hitting face for a bajillion damage, right? So there's all kinds of interesting ways to feed up this Glug if it sticks around on board, and I think it becomes a real high gravity kind of card where opponents are reacting to it, figuring out how to deal with it, trying to snipe it, and if they can't, it might represent a win condition in its own right. But frankly, even if it doesn't, I think just this many bodies on board, this many taunts just getting in the way is still a pretty efficient play in the world of 7-mana board-based plays, which don't always succeed in Hearthstone, but if they're going to, cards like this one definitely fit that mold. It's actually got Barren Glacier vibes a little bit, but perhaps maybe a little more defensively angled, but I still think this could actually be a follow-up in a tempo deck as well, much like Barren Glacier has succeeded for in the past. So I love Glug. I think this is going to be really, really fun and actually fairly competitive as well. All right, next up here we have Glaive Shark, a new Demon Hunter minion, a 4-mana 4/3 beast with Battle Cry. If your hero attacked this turn, deal 2 damage to all enemies. So yeah, that is a consecration for 4 mana on a 4/3 minion, and I think it's pretty good. Just a lot of stuff happening here in this card. Obviously offers you some reactivity to early minion boards, can often help you work your way through stuff. Even if you need to like hit a 3 health minion, you've got maybe an attack or a weapon to help you hit the bigger thing and then finish off all the smaller stuff next to it. On top of that, this can go face, and I always like cards that can go face as far as their competitive standpoint is concerned. Maybe not their play style as much, but I think that always helps cards, giving them that extra edge to maybe be a finisher tool or just some extra damage in a pinch or chip damage along the way for a class that can often put out lots of damage with Demon Hunter. So at the moment, you know, Demon Hunter's been a little bit more spell driven in many cases, things like Fell Demon Hunters and such, and this wouldn't necessarily slot into a lot of spell based decks. They already have a good batch of AoE removal, but that doesn't mean it's not going to find a home eventually, just because it does a lot. Any Demon Hunter deck that's able to run minions successfully and maybe has some weapons naturally built in or the time to hero power alongside this guy, I think makes this card a really valuable tool. It's just doing a lot. Big body with a battle cry that you know is going to get some immediate sort of value. Glug the Gulper is a 4-star card. Glaive Shark is a 4-star card. And there you go, folks. That wraps it up for this review. Only a couple cards this time around, but still some pretty sweet ones. Of course, share your thoughts in the comments below on both of these. What do you think about this Colossal? We've only got 1 Colossal left. I think it's Hunter. So we're going to have to do a ranking video on all these Colossals soon. That sounds fun. But anyway, thanks much as always for watching. And until next time, game on.